I got 3 points I want to make. And then I'm going to sit down. I want to talk about a reason. I want to talk about a ransom. And I want to talk about a robbery. Held up. Webster says that this is a phrase. It's not a word, it's 2 words that we put together to make a phrase in the English language. And this phrase has many meanings. When you say held up, it could mean suspended. That means it's up there, but it's being held up there. Or it could mean supported. Which means it's up there, but it's being held up there. Right. Or it could mean stolen. Right. Because it got there, and then it got held up there. Are you with me? Am I hard to follow? I'm going to make it quick. Listen. Daniel 10 and 12. All right. Daniel 10 and 12. I've got to read this. Watch this. Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy word. We just jumped right in the middle of a conversation right there, but do you know who's having the conversation? This is Daniel, the servant of the Lord, and Michael, the archangel of the Lord. And what they're talking about is they're talking about the calamities that must fall on the people of Israel and the soon coming trouble that's on the horizon that Daniel has received in a vision, and it's got him depressed. Right. It's got him depressed knowing that this is coming and there's nothing he can do about it coming, and that he's going to have to go through it. And in the middle of him going through, the angel of the Lord appears unto him to minister to him and to help him. And when he gets there, he wants to make some things clear first. All right. He said, Daniel, I know your heart, and I know what you're questioning in your heart. You're saying, if you've been praying to the Lord all this time, why has it taken me all this time to get to you? Well, if you muddle through all that King James, what he's basically saying is, Daniel, I left heaven the day that you prayed, and when I left, I had the answer from the Lord in my hand, and I would have made it to you by now, but Daniel, I got held up. Beloved, I submit to you this morning, I don't know what you're going through, and I don't know what it is you've been going to God about. But I did come to encourage you to keep going to God, because don't let the devil tell you God hadn't heard you. Don't let the devil tell you God doesn't care about you. Don't let the devil tell you that God doesn't love you and that God's not going to do anything about it. He may have already sent the answer, and it exists in the heavenly. It just hasn't manifested itself in the physical, because in the spiritual realm, still. It's still held up. Sometimes when God is holding up something, he said he's going to do it, but he hadn't done it. He said he's going to break it, but he hadn't brought it. He said he's going to send it, but he hasn't sent it. Well, preacher, why do God do that? He's usually doing that for a reason. And the reason is preparation. Did you know that you can determine the size of your deliverance if you take a real good inventory of your dilemma? In order for the children of Israel to have a Red Sea experience, there had to be an Egyptian army behind them. And so instead of focusing on how big your problem is, just look at your problem and estimate your Yeah. Your deliverance is going to have to be bigger than that. And so there's a reason sometimes why it's held up. It's because God is preparing on the other side of the dilemma. He tells Daniel here at the end of this vision, he says, what I've been doing, I didn't just get held up, but I decided to work, Daniel, while you wait. Beloved, do you know that God is at work while you wait? While you're waiting on him to do what you asked him to do, he's working a far greater thing in you. And you don't even see what he's doing. He's giving you stuff you ain't got. He's making you somebody you never were before this thing happened. God's going to deliver, and he's going to deliver you. But before any packages can go in your hand, God's got to know he can trust the hand that the package is going in. And so he's working on something. All right? Yes. While the blessings seem to be held up.